Today Dong Fu invites you to delve deeper into the Dhammapada, the 32th verse from the Buddhist scriptures on the YouTube channel TN Thai in USA. The verse says, "The monk who delights in heedfulness and looks with fear at heedlessness will not fall. He is close to Nibbana." Dear friends on the path, let us begin by sitting quietly for a moment, just allowing the breath to be soft and letting the heart be at ease. We have gathered here to reflect on a verse that is simple in words, but vast like the ocean in meaning. A verse that invites us into the deepest awareness of our own life and practice. This verse speaks of two great forces within us, one of mindfulness and the other of heedlessness. It speaks of joy, fear, vigilance, and liberation. Let us go slowly, word by word, step by step, together on this journey. The monk who delights in heedfulness. What does it mean to delight in heedfulness? In the Pali language, the word for heedfulness is apamada, and it does not merely mean being careful or cautious. It means being alive in the present moment, being awake to the truth, being diligent in one's practice. It is the opposite of negligence, of forgetfulness, of the sleepiness of the unawakened mind. To delight in heedfulness is not to force ourselves to be alert like a machine, but to discover the beauty of being fully present, fully sincere, fully committed to what is wholesome and liberating. Heedfulness is like the clear bell of the Dharma that rings through the noise of our distractions, reminding us again and again. This is the moment. This is the life. This is the path. A heedful monk does not see the practice as a burden, but as a treasure. He delights in it, like a child discovering a mountain of jewels. Every moment of mindfulness is a gem that shines. Every step taken with awareness is a step toward Nibbana. This delight is gentle. It is not excited or restless. It is the joy of one who has tasted peace, the quiet happiness of one who sees things as they truly are. And what does it mean to look with fear at heedlessness? This is the second half of the awakening mind. Just as the bird flies with two wings, one wing is delight in what is wholesome, the other is vigilance about what is harmful. To look with fear at heedlessness is not to be anxious or paranoid, but to recognize how easy it is to fall into forgetfulness, to be pulled by habits, to be captured by desire, to be fooled by the appearances of the world. The Buddha taught that heedlessness leads to death, not just the end of the body, but the death of wisdom, the death of compassion, the death of understanding. So the monk, the sincere practitioner, the one walking the path, does not underestimate the power of heedlessness. He looks at it with respectful caution. He knows how quickly one unwholesome thought can lead to suffering. He guards the doors of his senses. He watches the mind with kindness but firmness. And when heedlessness arises, he does not follow it. He does not dance with it. He bows and returns to mindfulness. This is the path of awakening, to love what is wholesome, and to gently fear what leads us away from the light. And then the verse says, "He will not fall." This is a great promise of the Dharma, that one who lives with heedfulness, with care, with mindfulness and wisdom, will not fall into delusion, into suffering, into lower realms of existence. The path is firm under his feet, and he walks with stability. Even if the winds of life blow hard, he is not shaken, because he is rooted in the present, rooted in the precepts, rooted in the truth. He will not fall, not into anger, not into greed, not into confusion, because mindfulness is his protection, and heedfulness is his light. And finally, he is close to Nibbana. Ah, how precious are these words! To be close to Nibbana, to be near the cessation of suffering, to be on the edge of liberation, not in theory, but in lived experience. The heedful monk is not just studying the path. He is living it, step by step, breath by breath, moment by moment. And because of that, he is already in touch with the flavor of freedom. To be close to Nibbana does not mean waiting for the end of life. It means touching the peace that is already here when craving ceases, when delusion fades, when the fire of attachment no longer burns the heart. So this verse is not far away. It is not for some distant monk in a forest. It is for us. Now, here, when we wake up with mindfulness, when we live with diligence, when we guard our minds and nourish our hearts with loving attention, we too are close to Nibbana. Let us explore this deeply now. Together, what is heedfulness in daily life? It is not about being tense or forced, but about being awake. When you walk, do you know you are walking? When you speak, do you know the intention behind your words? When you eat, are you tasting with gratitude? When you feel pain, are you pushing it away or meeting it with compassion? Heedfulness is the art of caring. Caring about the truth, caring about our actions, caring about the path of wisdom and love. And what is heedlessness? It is forgetting who we are, forgetting the law of cause and effect, forgetting that every thought shapes our future, forgetting that every moment is an opportunity for awakening. Heedlessness is not only doing unwholesome things, it is also living without reflection, without awareness, without the heart fully open. The Buddha praised heedfulness again and again. He said, all wholesome qualities are rooted in heedfulness, and all decline begins with heedlessness. Heedfulness is like the light of the sun. When it is present, the darkness has no power. Let us reflect on this through examples from the Buddha's life. There was once a monk named Kakupala, who practiced with such heedfulness that even though he went blind, he never lost the path. He walked with care, lived with precepts, meditated day and night. And when others asked why he did not rest, he said, I may be blind in the eyes, but I will not be blind in the mind. This is the spirit of heedfulness. Another story tells of a young monk who practiced in solitude, but was haunted by distractions. He came to the Buddha and said, My mind is restless. The Buddha replied, It is because you do not yet delight in heedfulness. Sit, breathe, watch your mind, and find joy in watching it, not in controlling it. And that monk did as the Buddha said, and he became peaceful. So heedfulness is not about forcing the mind, but about watching it with tenderness, with interest, with wisdom. To be heedful is to walk gently through the world, knowing that every step matters, every word matters, every thought plants a seed. This is how the monk delights in heedfulness. He sees it not as a duty, but as a freedom. And what about fear of heedlessness? How does one develop that fear in a wise way? It is not fear that paralyzes, but fear that awakens. Just as a mother fears her child walking near the edge of a cliff, so the mindful one fears the edge of delusion. He remembers how suffering arises from one careless act, from one angry word, from one selfish thought. And so he watches his life like a garden, pulling out the weeds of heedlessness before they grow. He does not hate heedlessness, but he does not trust it either. He knows its voice, how it whispers. Later, not now, just this once. But he answers, no, this moment matters. I will stay awake. This is the gentle fear that protects the path, like a fence around a sacred temple. Now, let us pause again and take a breath together. In, out, soft, calm. Feel the presence of heedfulness here in your own body, in your own mind. You do not need to seek it far away. It is already here, when you bring your attention fully into the now. This is the gate of Nibbana, right where you are. Dear friends, let us talk now about what it means to be close to Nibbana. Nibbana is not a place. It is a state of being. It is the extinguishing of the fires that burn within us. The fire of greed, the fire of hatred, the fire of delusion. When those fires go out, there is peace. Vast, boundless, silent peace. To be close to Nibbana is to feel that peace growing in the heart. To see that craving does not have the last word. To know that freedom is possible. It is not reserved for saints and sages. It is open to all who walk with sincerity, with diligence, with heedfulness. You may feel far from Nibbana, but when you sit in silence, when you bow with humility, when you forgive someone, when you let go of a grudge, when you speak a word of kindness, you are already stepping toward it. Heedfulness is the boat, and the shore of Nibbana is not far. Let us live like this, not rushing, not forcing. This is the way. The monk who delights in heedfulness and looks with fear at heedlessness will not fall. He is close to Nibbana. Let this verse enter your heart like a sacred song, and let it guide you through the days and nights of your life. When you rise in the morning, remember this verse. When you speak with others, remember this verse. When you sit in meditation, remember this verse. And when the mind wanders, remember this verse. And come home. Home is not far. It is right here. In the mindful step. In the loving gaze. In the silent breath. Nibbana is near. When the heart is clear, let us walk on. Together. May all beings delight in heedfulness. May all beings be free from heedlessness. May all beings be protected from falling. May all beings be close to Nibbana. Thank you for watching my video. Namo Amitabha. I wish to bring this merit towards all disciples and sentient beings, all of whom will attain Buddhahood. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel to review the short sermons of the Buddha. Thank you for listening to the Dharma.